let's see today's delicious recipe of Moong Dal Halwa, which is made out of jaggery and it gets ready also in no time. So here I've taken 1 cup of yellow moong dal, washed it thrice under water, and I'm going to soak it for about 2 hours in about 3 cups of water. Now after 2 hours, you're going to drain all the water out and you're going to grind this to a very smooth paste. And it should look like this, so you don't need to add any water when grinding the paste, and transfer this to a bowl. Now in a pot, I'm going to add 1 cup of water. To that, I'm going to add 1 cup of grated gourd or jaggery or gourd. You can use any type of jaggery that you regularly use in your food and in your cooking. Stir it a bit. And then we're going to cook this on a low to medium flame till the jaggery or the gourd completely dissolves. So this should take you about 2 to 3 minutes. You can stir it in between and it will dissolve and look like this. Now in a separate pan, I'm going to heat about half a cup of ghee. Now this moong dal does require a little bit more of ghee. Moong dal halwa. And now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of semolina or rava. I like using the fine rava, but you can even use whatever rava you have, the thick or the medium. And I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of besan or chickpea flour. Just stir the two together in the ghee. See that your ghee is nice and hot on a low to medium flame. And now we're going to grind this moong dal paste. We're going to add the moong dal paste rather. And you're going to stir all the 3 ingredients really well for at least 2 to 3 minutes. We want all these 3 ingredients to get nicely cooked in the ghee. So keep stirring it and see that you mix everything together. And you will see that the moong dal immediately starts to absorb all of the ghee. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cardamom or elaichi powder. So I've taken 3 cardamom pods and I've made a powder in my mortar and pestle. So ensure that you fry this in the ghee for 2 to 3 minutes. You can use a flat spatula like this. And now I'm going to strain this jaggery syrup that we prepared and add it to this fried mixture and keep stirring it. And you will see that the consistency will immediately change from a lumpy consistency to a very smooth consistency, almost like a sheera. And keep on stirring it for another 2 to 3 minutes till it starts leaving the sides of the pan, and then add some dry fruits and just cook it for another 2 to 3 minutes. And that's it guys, your lovely moong dal halwa is all ready and it's super delicious. So do try out this recipe and let me know how you like this recipe. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll catch you in my next video. This is Akshata signing off. Bye. Ingredients. This is 1 wati of fine rava or semolina. Now if you don't have the fine rava or semolina, you can use the medium or the thick one and just grind it in your mixer pot till it becomes nice and fine. Now this is 1 wati of jaggery or gourd. You can use any type of gourd or jaggery. This is 3 cups of water. Now I'm using this wati measure, but if you don't have watis, you can use the cup measure. So this is about half a cup of mixed dry fruits. So I have cashew nuts, almonds and kishmish or raisins. I'm going to be using a pinch of salt and about 10 teaspoons of ghee or clarified butter. Now this is half a teaspoon of elaichi or cardamom powder. That is, I've used 3 small green elaichis or cardamoms, and this is 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg or zaifal powder grated. So these are all the ingredients. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to first add the grated jaggery or gourd to my water. And we're just going to mix it. And then I'm going to put it onto, so first give it a nice mix like this. Now I've grated the jaggery just using, a sharp knife. And now I'm just going to put it on a low to medium heat, and I'm going to stir this till all of the jaggery dissolves and it comes to a gentle boil. Now turn off the heat, and now we're going to strain this liquid because sometimes the jaggery does have a little bit of impurities. So give it a good strain. So now in my pan, I've taken the rava and I'm going to dry roast the rava for at least 2 minutes on a low to medium flame, stirring continuously till the rava gives a nice aroma and it turns a little light golden brown in color. Now once that is done, turn off the heat and transfer it to another pan or another bowl. And now with your clean dry kitchen napkin, just wipe out your pan. Now we're going to use the same pan in which I'm going to put 4 teaspoons of clarified butter or ghee. And now I'm going to add my dry fruits, that is the cashew nuts, the almonds and the raisins or the kishmish, and I'm just going to lightly fry them till the cashew nuts and the almonds turn a little golden brown in color. So for say a half a minute or a minute. Now once that is done, just take off all the fried dry fruits. And now I'm going to add another 4 teaspoons of clarified butter or ghee. And now I'm going to add the roasted semolina or the rava into the ghee. And now we're going to fry this really well in the ghee. Now I'm going to add this zaifar powder or nutmeg powder as well as the cardamom or elaichi powder, and again mix everything really well together. I'm also going to add a pinch of salt, just a pinch. Fry this really well. And now we're going to add this jaggery water. It's a little bit hot, so be careful. And once you add the water, do not stir at all, but just cover it immediately. And we're going to cook this on a low to medium heat for just half a minute. Now after half a minute, you will see that everything has come together really well. And now we're going to stir it, and you will see that it starts leaving the sides of the vessel and all comes together. So keep stirring it for another minute. Add the dry fruits back and mix everything really well together. So it's got a lovely color because of the jaggery. Now if you use a darker jaggery like a Goa jaggery or palm sugar jaggery, you'll get a much darker color. So now mix it, and we're going to cook this for at least another whole minute. Stirring well. And now what I like to do is I just like to add another 2 teaspoons of clarified butter. Then I turn off the flame and I just put the cover and let it cool down for another 5 minutes. And now it's all ready to serve. Our lovely Gulab Sheera is ready. So I've just taken a bowl. I've just greased the bowl a little with some clarified butter. Just a drop of clarified butter. And now I'm just going to mix all of this Sheera nicely together. So then I'm going to fill this about 3/4 of the size of the bowl. And then I'm going to press it down nicely. Don't forget to grease the bowl. That way the Sheera will come out nicely. Or if you have a mold, like an aluminium mold, then you can use that. And then just put it on the plate, and it just slips off very easily. You can just pat it once or twice, and there it is. And then you can just garnish it with some nuts like I've done with some cashew nuts. And that's it, guys. Your lovely Sheera using jaggery is ready, and it is super delicious. So for this recipe, friends, I'll be using 1 bottle gourd of medium size. Wash it well, wipe it dry, and now we're just going to cut off the ends. Then I'm going to cut it into half because it becomes easier to work with. Then I'm going to peel it with a regular potato peeler, or you can use a knife too. Once that is done, you're just going to use the large, part of the cheese grater, and you're going to just grate the dudhi till you come to the center white part. Don't grate the center white part, just the sides of the bottle gourd or the dudhi. And do a taste test just to see whether it's, tastes fresh and nice. If it's bitter, then please discard it. And you have to keep all your other ingredients ready, and then lastly grate the dudhi, otherwise it will turn dark brown or even black. Now I'm going to heat a pan and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of clarified butter or ghee. This is a halwa, so you have to use ghee for it. And I'm going to put this dudhi into the ghee. And we have to fry this dudhi really well in this ghee. So take your time with it and fry this for a whole 1 minute. This is a real healthy option if you're craving to eat some dudhi halwa, because this doesn't have any sugar in it. We're going to use jaggery or gourd. After that, I'm going to add 1.5 cup of regular milk. We're not going to use any mawa or khoya for this recipe. You're just going to add milk. It takes a little longer time, but the end result is really delicious. And you're using homemade ingredients that you regularly have at home. Now I'm going to add 1 cup of this grated jaggery or gourd. And you're going to now mix everything well together. And I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of cardamom or elaichi powder. And we're going to mix everything well together. Now all you have to do is just mix this really well till everything comes together and starts leaving the sides of the pan. So just keep mixing it really well and cook on a low to medium flame, stirring in intervals. And after some time you will see that it took me exactly 20 to 25 minutes, and then your dudhi mixture will look like this. Now I'm just going to add about 1/4 cup of chopped cashew nuts. You can also use badam, pistachios, any nuts of your choice, and mix everything really well together. Now we're going to cook this for just another 5 minutes. And a lovely dudhi halwa is all ready to enjoy. So let's see today's delicious recipe of Malai cake. So to a pan, I'm going to add 1 cup of water. To the water, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of sugar. We're going to stir this sugar into the water till it completely dissolves. So keep stirring the mixture till all of the sugar completely dissolves. Now once the sugar dissolves, we're going to add a few strands of saffron or kesar, say about 8 to 10 strands, because we want this lovely yellow color. This is completely optional. If you don't have kesar, you can also use yellow food color. Now we're going to let this cook for about 4 minutes. We don't want a very thick sugary syrup. We just want it to be a little bit sticky. So after 4 minutes, just stir it once or twice and just set it aside. And we'll use this a little later in the recipe. So this has to just boil for 4 minutes. That's all we require. We don't want a very, very sticky sugar syrup with 1 string or 2 strings. No, we just want it to be a little sticky. So we're going to set this aside. Now to a pan, I'm going to add 500 ml or 1/2 liter or 2 cups of milk. To that, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of sugar. We're going to stir the mixture till all of the sugar dissolves. Now, in another bowl, I've taken 1/2 cup of warm milk, to which I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of corn flour, and I'm going to whisk this in really, really well. This is going to help us thicken our milk for the recipe. So whisk this in completely till all of the corn flour dissolves into the milk. It has to be warm milk. It doesn't have to be hot, but warm. Now we're going to stir the milk a bit. Ensure that all the sugar has dissolved. And once that happens, we're going to add this mixture that we just prepared with the warm milk and the corn flour to our milk, which is, this has to be boiled milk. And of course, you want to add 1 teaspoon of cardamom powder for that lovely flavor. So like I said, milk has to be boiled first before you use it for the recipe. Now I'm going to use half a cup of fresh cream or malai. So either you use the store-bought fresh cream, or if you have, sometimes people do collect the cream that layers our milk. If you have it at home, you can use half a cup of that. And now we're going to stir the mixture well till it starts to thicken. It takes about 5 to 8 minutes for the mixture to thicken on a low to medium flame, continuously stirring. And now you can see that it has coated the back of my spatula. And if you want to see, you can either run your finger or a spoon on the spatula, and it makes a very clear cut line. That means our mixture is ready. You can turn off the heat. Now you can take any deep dish or tray like this, and we're going to line this with some toast. This is the regular toast that we have with a cup of tea. So we're just going to line this down to the bottom of this tray, and then I'm going to warm the sugar syrup. We don't want the sugar syrup to be cold, or we don't want it to be piping hot. It should be nice and warm, and just evenly spread it out. What this will do is the toast will absorb all of the sugar syrup, and it will become nice and soft and really, really delicious. Now we're going to pour the thickened milk that we prepared, the flavored milk with cardamom, over this evenly so that it coats all of the toast. This is our first layer. Then we're going to repeat the process. That is, once this is done, again we're going to place some toast in this manner. Again we're going to put the sugar syrup. Ensure that the sugar syrup is nice and warm. That helps the process, and the toast will absorb it quicker. And again we're going to pour the thickened milk over it. This is not a very sweet dessert, it's just right. And now I'm just going to garnish it with some dry nuts. You can use any nuts of your choice. I've just used some chopped up almonds and cashew nuts. You can use pistas, raisins. And now we're going to refrigerate this for 7 to 8 hours. And after waiting patiently, our dessert is all ready. Our malai cake is all ready to dig in. So take a nice sharp knife and just cut a big slice like this. And then using a cake spatula like this, you're just going to lift the piece up gently and serve it. Be extremely gentle. It comes off very easily because it is set really well. And then just put it on your plate and enjoy. Now this is a cold dessert, so you have to refrigerate it at all times. Enjoy this, friends. I hope you do give this recipe a try. This is so delicious. It's so soft and yummy and really refreshing. So do give this recipe a try, and I'll catch you soon in my next recipe. Let's see what ingredients we require for both making the sugar syrup as well as the Gulab Jamun. So here I'm taking about 1 cup of sugar. This is for making the sugar syrup, also called the pak. And I'm going to be using half a cup of water. Now I also am going to be using 5 or 6 elaichis or cardamoms, which I have peeled, and then I have just crushed them using a mortar and pestle into a very fine powder. You can also buy the store-bought elaichi powder. Now we're going to add the sugar to the water in a vessel, and we are going to simmer it for about 15 to 20 minutes, or till the sugar starts dissolving in the water and becomes into a thick syrup. Now for some lovely color, we're going to add some saffron strands. You can also use some saffron syrup and let it boil for some time so you get this lovely color to the sugar syrup. And then we're going to add the elaichi powder or the cardamom powder, give it a mix, and then simmer again for about 5 minutes more or a minute more. Now we're going to make the gulab jams. For that I'm using half a cup of milk powder. Then we're going to be using 1 tablespoon of maida or all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of very fine Rava or Semolina, 2.5 tablespoons of milk. You can have some warm milk, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice or lime juice, and 1 tablespoon of clarified butter or ghee. So let's start making these lovely gulab jamuns. So now in a plate, I'm going to be adding the milk powder. To that, I'm going to be adding the maida or the all-purpose flour, as well as the rava or the semolina. We're going to give all of this a mix and add the ghee too. Now I like to warm the ghee a little. Then we're going to add the juice of about 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. We're also going to add the milk. Now I warmed the milk to a little bit, not hot, but just a little warm. And we're going to mix everything well together. And then we have to knead this into a soft dough. It's very easy to knead, and since the milk and the ghee or clarified butter is a little bit warm, you're able to knead it really fast. Now I've added a few drops of ghee so that I get a nice smooth texture to my dough, and it's easier to knead too. Now I've used the very fine rava or semolina. It's easier to work with. And once we have nicely kneaded the dough, we're going to cover it and keep it for about 10 to 15 minutes. I've also transferred the sugar syrup into a bowl. Now after 10 to 15 minutes, our dough is all ready to use. I'm going to be putting a few drops of ghee on my hands, and that makes it easier to roll these small little balls. So try to make them even size so that they all look the same. And the dough is so easy to work with. So just make them into little tiny even sized balls. And now, after making the gulab jams, it's time to deep fry them. So I've taken about 4 to 5 tablespoons of oil, heated it up, and we're going to fry just about 5 or 6 at a time. And keep an eye on it and continuously keep moving the gulab jams around and let them get evenly browned. Let them become nice and golden brown in color. They really turn golden brown very, very quickly, so you have to work with it very fast and don't leave it unattended. Otherwise, they will burn. and keep your sugar syrup ready. So the minute they turn into this beautiful gulab jam color, just drop them directly into your sugar syrup. And don't overcrowd your pan. Just keep about 5 to 6 minimum and just keep stirring them around very gently. And you'll see that they nicely puff up a bit and they become into these beautiful crispy little golden balls. So here they're all ready. I got about 15 to 16 of these gulab jamuns with the quantity I used. And now just evenly coat them with the lovely sugar syrup, and you can serve them either hot or refrigerate them for an hour or so and serve them chill. Anyway, they taste really, really delicious. Hope you're going to give today's recipe a try. Share my recipes with family and friends. Go and visit my channel. I have more than 500 recipes as of today. So go try them out, share them with family and friends, and let me know also in the comment section below how you like the recipe. Also, don't forget to give this recipe a big thumbs up by clicking the thumbs up icon that you see below this video. If you haven't joined Akshata's recipes yet, click the subscribe button that you see below this video and become a part of Akshata's recipes. And once you have subscribed, there's a little bell icon that will pop up. Just click it. That way, whenever I put up a new video, a recipe, vlog, or I'm just online waiting to chat with you, you'll get a message for the same. So friends, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will catch you in my next video sooner than you think. This is Akshata saying bye. Take care, stay healthy, stay fit, be loving and kind to one another. So till I see you in my next video, bye.